Welcome back to Amman, Jordan, for the Day 4 Asian Championship Highlight Show. I'm your host, Eric Olanowski. That is the Olympic champion herself and UWW broadcast analyst, Erica Weeb. Erica, before we get into the finals, the story of the day was that insane semifinal session where 2 of the 3 Olympic medalists in action got pinned in back-to-back matches. So let's start here. Which one of these matches shocked you most? Was it Sara Natami of Japan, who pinned 2024 Olympic bronze medalist Kishin Hong of China, or was it Okju Kim from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, who pinned 2024 Olympic bronze medalist Nanoka Ozaki of Japan?
Oh, Eric, you always ask me the tough questions. Honestly, every single one of the semifinal matches was fire. It was super exciting to see. And those 2 pins, huge upsets, and they happened so quickly in the matches. It's a toss-up to decide. Both were incredible wins and set the tone for the finals that we had today.
I'll take the answer for you, and I'll go Natami as she picked up that fall over Kishin Hong in 19 seconds. But let's move into the finals where Japan had 2 champs, while the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, India, and Kazakhstan each had a solo champion, and we'll eventually get to Japan. But first, let's start at 62 kilos, where Manisha of India pulled out that miracle, erasing a 7-2 second period deficit against Okju Kim of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea to win her first Asian title. 8-7, Erica Manisha won Asian bronze in 22, 23, and 24. So give me the differentiating factor that helped her improve those bronze to golds here in Amman.
Yeah, and today, in every single one of her matches, she dictated the hand fighting with this punishing, relentless forward pressure. It was very impressive to see her evolution as we've watched her over the last couple championships. And I think one cool thing about the final match is that she made the adjustment. She actually kind of got herself into this deficit in this front headlock position where she just kept getting sat out again and again and again. And she actually made the adjustments at the end, clawed her way back out, as you mentioned. I don't know if I call it a miracle, but she wrestled, I think, the best I've ever seen her wrestle today, and probably the MVP for me at this tournament.
Yeah, that gas tank was unbelievable. It reminded me, when you think back to gas tanks on Indian wrestlers, Bajrang Punia comes to an example. But let's throw it to Manisha for more on her gold medal performance.
जैसे कि मैं हर कंपटीशन में ही मेरी थोड़ी स्टार्टिंग थोड़ी स्लो है और अभी मैं अभी उस पे काम कर रही हूँ मैं, लेकिन आज सुबह से मुझे बहुत पॉजिटिव फीलिंग आ रही थी कि भाई मैं बेस्ट करूँगी। और तब मैं फर्स्ट राउंड में थोड़ा पीछे थी तो मतलब यूँ फील हो रहा था कि भाई थक रही है, क्योंकि हम हाथ लगाते तो मुझे फील हो रहा था कि थोड़ा डाउन जा रही है। तो सेकंड राउंड में जब वापस आई मैंने थोड़ा हाथ लगाया कि शी इज़ वेरी टायर्ड। सो मैंने अपना पूरा जो मेरे कोच ने काम करा रखा था, फुल फोर्स ऑल टाइम फुल पुश तो थोड़ा पॉजिटिव पॉइंट हुआ, तो कवर करने में काफ़ी आसानी हुई मुझे। जैसे कोच साहब को पता है, अभी उनके साथ मुझे काफ़ी लंबा टाइम हो गया है इंडिया टीम में आते हुए, तो कोच साहब को पता है कि मनीषा सेकंड राउंड में काफ़ी अच्छा करती है, तो बोल रहे थे कि शी इज़ वेरी टायर्ड है, अपना पूरा बेस्ट देगी तो लास्ट तक अपने साइड तो बाउट खींच लेगी। तो मुझे हर टाइम ऐसे समझाते हैं, बाउट से पहले भी और बाउट के बीच में भी, कि मनीषा अपना बेस्ट फिर अगर बेस्ट करेगी तो बाउट तेरे हाथ में आ जाएगी। तो ऐसा मुझे हर टाइम बोलते रहते हैं। जैसे कि 2022 में थी, 2022 में मेरा फर्स्ट एशिया चैम्पियनशिप का सीनियर का फर्स्ट थोड़ा एक्सपीरियंस था, तो उस टाइम पे मेरे फादर साहब एक्सपायर हो गए थे, तो मैं आई थी। फिर सेकंड में थोड़ा और पॉजिटिव फीलिंग आई कि सीनियर, फिर थर्ड में जैसे कंपटीशन खेलती गई कंटिन्यू, लेकिन अभी जैसे मैं पिछले 1 साल से काफ़ी वर्क कर रही हूँ। अभी मेरा यही है कि परफॉर्मेंस निकालना और पिक करना और ज़्यादा पिक करना। तो अब की बारी पॉजिटिव वाइब्स मुझे पहले से आ रही थी, जैसे अंदर से आती ना फीलिंग कि बेस्ट ही होगा।
We'll move to the match that was tabbed as the premier bout of the night, at least on paper that was, where Paris 2024 Olympic bronze medalist Hong Young-cho from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea took things to another level against reigning world champion Morikawa of Japan, defeating her 12-1 to win that 53-kilo title. And Cho really showed her extensive arsenal of attacks, scoring from every position.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see them at the beginning of that match go tit for tat with the sweep singles to open the first round, and the difference was in the execution, both offensively and defensively. Fuyuka attempted 4 singles from open position, and every single time Cho responded, shut them down, and got behind. And I think, we talk about the Democratic People's Republic of Korea having such a successful Asian championships. Any person, any country can have a good day, and the most important match is the next match. And so I'm excited to see these nations, this athlete, continue to build her momentum forward.
And a lot of talk coming into the competition was around Japan's depth, and it really showed through. Despite missing Olympic champions Susaki Fujinami, Sakurai Motoki, and Kagami, they still did win the team title after grabbing 2 additional golds here tonight. So in your opinion, what is it about the Japanese Japanese wrestlers that always allows them to seem like they are reloading?
Reloading, or just, we think about the talent development in that nation. I mean, they have the athletes that are 16, 17, 18 years old that are able to come out of that system and just technically execute perfectly. And it's just beautiful to watch, the systemic technical execution. And that's the difference maker. I think we've seen the world catch up at the global development of women's wrestling, but still Japan is the ones that set the tone. And I think also a difference is psychologically, was athletes from other countries walk out onto the mat and they're like, I'm facing Japan in my first round. And that's something that's really challenging to get over. And we know countries that compete against Japan need to find a way to get over that, but it's still a psychological barrier that I think sometimes allows them to have that leg up.
During your career, did you have that wrestling Japan?
It was interesting again, at 76 kilos heavyweight, there's a little bit of a difference. They've really dominated the lighter weight classes. I also was exposed to Japanese wrestlers from a really early age. Kaori Icho and her sister spent a year in Calgary really early on in my career, so I wrestled Kaori like every day for a year, which was incredible, and she really beat me up. And then Hiroi Suzuki is one of my really close friends. She also would come to Calgary on a regular basis, so I had a lot of exposure to Japanese style of wrestling, and it really matched up with my style well.
So no shell shock for you, but we'll move to the evenly matched battle at 57 kilos, where Sara Natami from Japan narrowly edged out Il Sung of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea 2-2 on criteria. And you alluded to one key adjustment that Natami made during the finals that really changed the outcome of the bout. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, this was super interesting to see. Kind of at the beginning of the finals matches, I said, we've seen the People's Republic of Korea have an amazing day yesterday. I would put it on Japan to do the video analysis to make those tactical adjustments. We didn't really see it until Natami came out there, and we saw her come in on that match. She didn't make a single attempt at a sweep single. Everything was popping that front headlock snap, and that was the difference. And I think that was what allowed her to keep this match really tight, to stay in it and come out on top.
And Morikawa at 65 kilos of Japan jumped out to the big lead and seemed to really put things into cruise mode early against Enchin Tushin-Jarvel of Mongolia, ultimately picking up the 8-2 win in her second career Asian title. She's fun to watch.
She is fun to watch, and she's just a fun person. I think everyone in the wrestling community knows that Miwa Morikawa is like Miss Congeniality of wrestling. Everyone loves her. She's a great person, and I think that's also consistently why we see her on the team again and again, because she's an amazing teammate, and that just pays dividends on the environment for the team.
And how many times did she fix her hair? One thing that stuck out to me is when she won the match, she made sure, she knew the photos were coming, so she stopped, she fixed her hair before getting the flag and taking that lap around. And the final gold medal on the women's side of the competition here at the Asian Championships came at 72 kilos, where Jamila Bakanova of Kazakhstan scored 4 in the second period to take out Yuxi Liu out of China 4-1 to win her 4th Asian title. Bakanova is quietly becoming one of the greatest Asian women's wrestlers of all times, but she's fallen one match short at the World Championships. Looking back, it was World Silver in 21, 22, and 24, and World Bronze in 23. So I'll ask you this. If you could give Bakanova one piece of advice to help her get over that hump, what would it be?
Yeah, I would say the same thing to her as I would say to any wrestler. This was advice that I kind of really had to take in. And this is what allowed me to have the day when it mattered most, is you have to kind of release this pressure to win and really have the freedom to perform. And I think that's what's most important. I think that's what we see, the joy being expressed when athletes have this overcoming moment and have these big wins. And I know it's elusive to get that world championship belt, and maybe 2025 will be the year.
So you're saying it's one of those where you focus more on the journey and less on the destination.
It's all about the journey, baby.
And for you history buffs out there, I salute Titibekova